When I transmigrated, the story was already nearing its end. I was the villainous female supporting character, a done deal. So I decided to just give up and do nothing. But after I did that, everyone around me started acting weird, flocking to me like crazy. The male and female lead's eyes darted around. It hasn't been long since we last met, but I actually miss it. The aloof and fastidious stepbrother, go bring the young lady down for dinner. The stone-faced father's fingers flew across his phone, voice message Dad, and I'll give you money to spend. The venomous stepmother's eyes were filled with tears. She actually feels sorry for how hard things are for me. I'm going to follow her after I divorce her father. Excuse me, have you all lost your minds? Noon, the sun was scorching hot. A perfect couple was intimately linked together, looking blissful. People around them offered sincere blessings. Looking around, the atmosphere was lively. Except for me. Amidst the applause, the person on my right said coldly, "They're already engaged. You better give up those malicious thoughts." The person on my left smiled charmingly. "If you cause any more trouble, I'll break your legs and lock you up. The Williams family can't afford to lose face like that." I sneered. Fine, fine, just because I haven't snapped doesn't mean I don't have a temper. It's rare to transmigrate, and other people's roles are always the female lead, and more of the female lead. But I'm just cannon fodder. And cannon fodder with a bad reputation who has already done all sorts of bad things. The plot has already reached the final chapter. The male and female leads overcame the cannon fodder's layers of obstacles and finally got engaged, sweetly together. And this cannon fodder is about to be tortured in various ways by the male lead, who's gotten the girl and is starting the reckoning mode. How pitiful that although I'm the only daughter of the Williams family, my biological mother died many years ago, and my father remarried early. His second wife brought over a stepbrother who wasn't related to me at all. They were a harmonious couple, raising each other in esteem. And that stepbrother was also very promising, starting his own company in college without relying on the Williams family's connections. After several years of development, he's now riding high. Family background introduction complete. Speaking of the plot, there's no way to wash away the things I've done before. The male lead's revenge is only a matter of time. Although the Williams family status isn't low, Mr. Williams is immersed in making money and is constantly traveling abroad. The household is completely managed by his virtuous wife, my stepmother, with whom I don't get along at all. I should thank God if my stepmother doesn't try to screw me over. My stepbrother greatly admires the capable female lead. And me, going against the female lead, is basically becoming the target of everyone's criticism. Fine, fine, you want to play it like this, huh? Whoever wants to deal with this broken plot can have it. I'm not doing it. Since I'm already stuck in the mud, I'll just lie down and give up. Since I'm being criticized by everyone, I'll go crazy and screw everyone over. I said coldly, they're already engaged. What can I do? Abduct the bride in broad daylight. My stepbrother didn't even bother to glance at me. You know what you've done before. Behave yourself at this engagement banquet. My stepmother was more sensitive. Wait, why abduct the bride? I gave her an unfathomable smile. Would I say that it was just a slip of the tongue from watching too many dramas? The engagement banquet concluded perfectly. The male and female leads, on the other hand, felt somewhat unaccustomed. The male lead, Caleb, gracefully walked over with the female lead, Aurora, to chat with his stepbrother and stepmother. I sat on a chair, eating pastries with a blank expression. For the duration of the engagement banquet, I had endured endless taunts and sneers from the two buffoons on either side of me. I was already depressed enough. Now, not only was I bursting with anger, but I hadn't even gotten a sip of tea. Damn it. What kind of status is this? The quieter I became, the more alarmed Caleb and Aurora seemed. They exchanged a look, and Caleb couldn't help but say, "Mr. Williams, Ava, she." Jasper's demeanor was calm and collected, his expression condescending, conveying a sense of complete control. Don't worry. I didn't know before. Now that I'm back, I won't give her another chance to cause you trouble. His tone was slightly raised, deliberately making sure I heard that sentence. It was like the last straw that broke the camel's back. The final fuse of the bomb was lit. I slammed my hand on the table. I was truly angry. Fine, fine, in your eyes. It's useless for me to say anything now anyway. Since I'm so malicious, then all of you just leave me alone. I'll go back and lock myself up and never come out to cause trouble for you again. But I don't care what others say about me, Aurora. I pointed at the female lead, my eyes red. Have you really forgotten who is responsible for me becoming like this? After saying that, the tears I had been holding back finally fell, 2 round droplets, making me look like a pear blossom in the rain, pitiful and lovely. What is the highest level of trash talk? Don't give the other person a chance to respond. After saying all that, I covered my face and turned to run. The people behind me were dumbfounded. The female lead, who had been suddenly called out, reacted after a long while and turned to look at the male lead, her expression unusually hesitant and confused. What did she mean just now? The male lead, Caleb, had grown up with me and knew my temper very well. He was very certain. She must have said it to disgust us, Aurora. Don't take it to heart. My stepbrother snorted, saying she'll lock herself up. If she really had that kind of awareness, my father would be thanking the heavens. My stepmother's focus was always unique. Why did she point at Aurora and ask that last question? Did you two have something happen between you before? Aurora frowned. How could that be? I didn't even know her before. My stepmother continued her efforts. She also said something about forcibly taking a maiden at your engagement party. Forcibly taking a maiden. Who took her maiden? And whose maiden did she want to take? My stepmother looked at the beautiful couple in front of her, then looked at the direction I had left in. After a long while, she covered her lips with her fingers, forcibly swallowing the word that was about to come out. Oh my God, old Williams's daughter has been raised crooked? I sprinted back to the Williams family mansion. The Williams family had been passed down for 3 generations. It almost went bankrupt in my grandfather's generation, but my father rebuilt it and made it strong again. Calling it a mansion, it was actually just the plot of land my great-grandfather bought and built a huge house on the mountainside. My stepmother and Jasper usually preferred to live in the villa in the city. But the housekeeper, Auntie, who watched me grow up, was at the old house. I ran back to the mansion crying, found my room and went inside, throwing out my phone, computer, tablet, and everything else that could be used to contact me. Get rid of all of these. I don't want to see them again. After saying that with a sobbing voice, I locked the door and struggled to move the table and small sofa over to block it. I drew the curtains and the room was plunged into darkness. The Williams family mansion was built very large. My bedroom alone had a sitting room, study, dressing room, and everything else. The soundproofing was excellent. After removing my makeup, I lay down on the bed and fell straight to sleep. Before I transmigrated, I stayed up for 3 consecutive nights to beat a game. I even suspected that I transmigrated because I died of overwork. I slept so soundly that I didn't know what day it was. I opened my eyes and looked at the room. It wasn't dawn yet, so I kept sleeping. I woke up again, and it still wasn't dawn, so I slept again. When I opened my eyes again, damn, this night was really long. I was getting hungry from sleeping. Why wasn't it dawn yet? I turned over and noticed the silk 4-piece bedding set under me. I forgot. I already transmigrated. I opened the curtains and looked outside. It was still night. I turned on the lights and searched the whole room for food. There was a row of hidden cabinets in the sitting room, and when I opened them, they were full of snacks. The study didn't have classics, but novels and comics. There were even 2 sets of top-of-the-line game consoles, with all the common games on the market. Although Ava gave birth to a love brain, I have to say, she really has good taste. No worries about food and drink, and so much spiritual food. I stayed inside and almost forgot the passage of time. A door separated them. The originally quiet and deserted old house was now filled with people. The old butler, with his head of silver hair, was so anxious he was on the verge of tears. Jasper, you have to think of something. Miss has been locked in there for 10 days. Jasper said with a stern face, since she told everyone not to bother her, why should we? Miss was just saying that in anger. Having watched Ava grow up since she was a child, the old butler truly cared for her. Jasper, even if Miss is angry with you, you should humor her a little. Her parents weren't around when she was little, and only Caleb was willing to play with her. It's understandable that young people get carried away with emotions and take a wrong path. You should talk to her nicely. Miss isn't someone who doesn't listen. She's locked herself in her room for 10 days, not eating or drinking for so long. How can this be good? The stepmother reminded, if I remember correctly, Ava's room was just restocked with snacks about 2 weeks ago. How can a person just eat snacks? Snacks don't have the same nutrition as proper meals. The butler wiped his eyes. I watched Miss grow up. She never liked snacks since she was a child. And now she's upset. She probably hasn't eaten a proper meal in days. The old butler was of mixed Chinese and French descent, having grown up in France before coming over with my biological mother. He was inherently sentimental and prone to overthinking. Now, the more he thought about it, the more pathetic I seemed in that dark room. He looked at the two people standing there, unmoved, and gritted his teeth. Fine, fine, none of you care about Miss. This old man cares. I'll call Mr. Williams right now. He promised to take good care of Miss when Madam passed away. Is this how he's taking care of her now? Mentioning Mr. Williams, the stepmother and stepbrother's expressions changed. Old Williams was out earning money, and they let his daughter get so upset that she locked herself in her room and refused to eat. How could they? Tell people to come and break down the door and invite the eldest Miss to come down and eat. The butler sadly wiped away his tears and kept looking at Jasper. The eldest Miss doesn't listen to any of us. You need to be the one to resolve this. The stepbrother raised his eyes, looking rather resentful. I'll go and call her myself. The old butler was finally satisfied. David, quickly make some dishes that the eldest Miss likes. Lucas, quickly bring out the set of gilded antique tableware that the eldest Miss likes. Liam, pick some of the most beautiful roses from the garden to arrange. It's rare for the eldest Miss to come back for a meal. We must make it perfect. The stepmother sat on the sofa in the living room with a cold face. This was why she hated the old house the most, and she also disliked Ava as a result. She had been married in for 20 years and had never received this kind of treatment. Never. The dimly lit room. The large monitor emitted a faint, cold light. I sat there, my face pale. I had played this horror game for 5.5 days, and finally finished it. Damn it, it's clearly a horror game. Why is the ending so touching, Waya? Watching the male protagonist tightly embrace the cold female protagonist, I cried uncontrollably. You just got dumped, so you're debasing yourself like this? How pathetic. The sudden voice was full of disgust. My movement of blowing my nose paused. Weak light from the doorway shone in. Jasper, in a sharp suit, one hand in his pocket, was looking down. So handsome. The perfect CEO type. But what a shame he had a mouth. I sobbed and asked, how did you get in? The bedroom door opens inwards, and I blocked it with so many things, it shouldn't be able to open. Jasper slightly raised his head. I leaned out of the game room. The bedroom door was wide open. Or rather, there was no bedroom door anymore. The construction crew had completely removed the door, and the remaining people were dismantling the door frame. The things I had used to block the door were naturally moved away. Damn rich people. I wiped my face. What are you doing here? Jasper's attitude was even colder. Come downstairs to eat. I'm not eating. I was so emotionally wrecked I didn't feel like eating. Jasper frowned. Don't be ridiculous. I was very surprised. Ridiculous? I'm serious. Didn't I say I wouldn't go out anymore? This room is my solitary confinement. I'll die before I leave. Jasper stared fixedly at me. My eyes were red, and I looked back without avoiding his gaze. Locked in a standoff, Jasper said calmly. If that's what you want, so be it. He ordered someone move all the young ladies' games, comics, novels, and snacks out of her room. My pupil shook. What are you doing? If you're going to be locked up, you have to look like you're being locked up. You don't even usually read these things, so it won't make a difference if we remove them. The people behind Jasper were about to start moving. Wait. I quickly stopped them. I've thought about it carefully, and as long as the intention is there, anywhere can be solitary confinement. Okay, big brother, hurry up and go downstairs. I'll wash my face and come over. Aya, I haven't eaten in so many days. I'm so hungry. A light chuckle came from behind me. I turned my head to look. Jasper was still standing there expressionlessly. Seeing me turn around, he slightly lifted his eyelids, his icy indifference radiating off the screen. Is there something else? How could I think that Jasper's ice block face would laugh? Did playing games mess with my brain so much that I can't distinguish between reality and fiction? Seeing me come downstairs, the old butler wished he could set off fireworks to celebrate. Wah, Miss Ava, you've finally come down. All the dishes I had prepared are your favorites. This old butler, he's probably the one who cares about me the most here. My expression softened slightly. I'm sorry I worried you these past few days. The old butler stared blankly at me, turned his head, covered his eyes with his sleeve, and tears sprayed out. The miss is actually showing concern for others. She must have suffered a great injustice lately. That old thing, Mr. Williams, he must call and scold him severely. Good grief. He's crying like he's in a manga. A long table full of dishes was already laid out. Ignoring the exaggerated candles and floral arrangements, I sat down in a chair. My stepmother sat across from me, her expression very cold. You child, how old are you still playing at Hunger Strikes? You're not allowed to do that again in the future. Understood, I said in a muffled voice. All the meat and seafood dishes on the table were on my side, while all the vegetable dishes were for my stepmother and Jasper. Seeing a piece of fried chicken that was cut in half in my stepmother's plate, I simply took the whole dish over and openly exchanged it for a plate of stir-fried lotus root slices that I wanted to eat. My stepmother paused, her mind racing. Has this child suddenly changed her ways? She's actually giving her favorite dish to her? Wait, how does this child know that she also likes to eat this dish? My stepmother looked at the half piece of fried chicken in her plate and pursed her lips with mixed feelings. After a while, she softened her tone. Now that you know you were wrong, just live your life properly from now on. I'll have your brother give you an extra allowance every month, so you can go out and see the world more, and you won't just be thinking about one man. I clenched my fork, keeping my voice as normal as possible. An extra. How much? My stepmother said, you currently have a fund dividend of $500,000 a month. I'll have your brother add another $500,000 to it. This money will come from my account. A whole million. I can't even imagine how sunny and cheerful I'll be every month with that much money. What wicked stepmother. She's clearly my fairy godmother. She's really... I'm so moved. All my previous phones, tablets, etc. are gone. Jasper was very efficient. After dinner, the latest set of electronic devices was delivered, along with a bank card. Jasper said, as long as you don't cause any more trouble and you don't provoke Caleb and the others, you can spend the money in the card however you want. He's still that aloof person, but in my eyes, he's automatically surrounded by a holy light. I assured him, Big Brother, don't worry, I've reformed and become a new person. My stepmother once said something I wholeheartedly agree with. Go out and see the world, and you won't fixate on just one man. Now, I have $1 million in hand. A whole million. Cute puppies, fierce wolves, cool and beautiful men of all types. What kind of man can I have? So I went to the biggest bar. But after a few drinks, the door was kicked open. I was forcibly taken back to Jasper's apartment. Jasper bought an apartment in the city to make commuting easier and usually lives there. When I was dragged in, he was still in his study, reviewing documents. He was wearing casual clothes and frameless glasses, with his hair falling loose, making him look several years younger. Seeing him like this, he actually had a husband-like feel. I've seen plenty of handsome men, but they're still a notch below Jasper. But thinking about the handsome men I hadn't gotten enough of at the bar, I became furious. Jasper, what do you mean? Didn't you say I could do whatever I want as long as I don't cause trouble? Did I go looking for Caleb? Or did I look for Aurora? I was just having a few drinks at the bar. Why did you have someone drag me back? I slammed my hand on his desk, making a loud bang. If you don't give me an explanation today, You'll what? Jasper looked up, his eyes sharp. You're not thinking about Caleb anymore and started looking at handsome men in bars instead? Ava, you're quite capable. What's wrong with me looking at handsome men? What do you, a cold-hearted person, understand? The handsome men in bars aren't there voluntarily. If it wasn't for family circumstances, they'd rather wash dishes outside than work in a place like that. You think they're selling their bodies? They're rare talents in 100 years. They said only I could understand them. Jasper raised a hand and rubbed his forehead. Don't go there again, or your monthly allowance will be reduced to 100,000. My endless stream of words stopped abruptly. Saving lost talented men is important, but my money is more important. I asked weakly, can I go to the bar if I don't order anyone? Jasper emphasized, only to quiet bars. And don't let something like this happen again. I nodded repeatedly. Don't worry, sir, I've always been very mindful of boundaries. The next night, the same study, the same people reunited again. Jasper took off his glasses, looking a bit helpless. Someone mindful of boundaries. Tell me, what happened this time? I stubbornly claimed it was a misunderstanding. The man next to me spoke up for me. Miss Ava ordered 10 male escorts at the bar and bought expensive liquor under each of their names. These escorts fought over Miss Ava's affection, almost injuring her in the process. He was the bodyguard Jasper had arranged to protect me in secret. Seeing the situation, he brought Jasper over again. The name of that bar? Eternal Night Feast. It's a quiet bar. I see. You may leave. Jasper's expression was calm. The bodyguard turned and left, and I quickly followed. Then I heard the man's voice, cold as shattered ice, behind me. You stay. In the study, only Jasper and I remained. After a long silence, I couldn't stand the atmosphere and spoke first. Since you have nothing to say, I'll just leave first. Ava. His tone was calm, but my heart tightened. I really don't understand what you're trying to do. What am I trying to do? I want to use a stable mental state to drive everyone crazy. Seeing that Jasper's mental state was also precarious, I went completely insane. When I stayed at home, you forced me to go out. You gave me the money, so it's my freedom to spend it however I want, right? Did I solicit prostitutes? Did I do drugs? Did I gamble? I didn't do anything, just had a few drinks, and I'm getting dragged here and told to stop. I didn't even touch anyone's hand. You guys are clean as a whistle and do nothing during business dinners? Given my age and my family's wealth, even if I don't date, is there a problem with hiring someone to make me happy? Jasper's expression was calm. Even if you want to hire someone, you should find someone with a clean background. I retorted, shouldn't it be someone who's healthy and good-looking in every way? Jasper's tone suddenly dropped. Watch your language. I looked at Jasper, who remained unmoved in his chair, and suddenly smiled. I leaned in, grabbed his tie, and pulled him closer, our breaths mingling. Jasper, Gidge, I said softly, since you're so worried about me, and we're not related by blood anyway, why don't you just sacrifice yourself a little? Jasper's pupils dilated. Jasper roughly tore my hand away. Get out. I sauntered out and closed the door behind me. It felt so refreshing to discuss Jasper once today. He probably won't bother with me for a while after this. But if I can't save wayward young men, and I can't save wayward young women, what's the point of me being alive? I locked myself in my room to play games for a month, then threw myself into a bar for half a month of indulgence, and still couldn't figure it out. But the male and female leads couldn't sit still any longer. The male lead, wanting to save face, subtly messaged Jasper. Do you know what Ava's been up to lately? Jasper scoffed, busy freeloading. Using his card to freeload. Wonderful. The male lead was shocked. Aren't you going to do something about it? While the male lead was still playing it coy, the female lead wasn't being reserved at all. I was quite surprised when I heard the name of the visitor. Aurora? What's she doing here? The old butler looked at me kindly. She said it's been a while and she's come to see you, miss. You've been inside for so long, it's good to get out and about, isn't it? It had been a while since I'd gone out. Aurora was waiting for me in the living room on the first floor. When she saw me come down, her expression was complex. When I was obstructing the two of them, she hated me to the bone. But now that I'm not obstructing them, she feels empty instead. At first, she thought she was just the type who couldn't be comfortable. But later, she realized that Caleb seemed to feel the same way. Without me causing trouble, the feelings between the two of them had become as calm as still water, lacking any passion. This wouldn't do. What do you want? I have something I want to talk to you about. I know a really good coffee shop. I waved my hand. Let's just talk here, or in the courtyard. It'll only take a couple of sentences. No need to go to so much trouble. This was Jasper's territory, and Aurora couldn't say what she wanted to hear. She said, "A friend of mine just opened a beauty salon, and their techniques are the latest from Korea. They have things like hot spring baths and spa treatments besides non-surgical cosmetic procedures." My eyes lit up, and I turned my head. "Grandpa Henry, arrange a driver for me. I want to go out shopping." The young miss was finally willing to go out and about. The old butler's gaze towards Aurora instantly softened. My relationship with Aurora hadn't improved to the point where we could sit in the same car. 2 cars left one after the other. After arriving, I soaked in the hot spring and lazily said, "So, what's this all about?" Aurora bit her lip. "I want to ask you to continue hindering me and Caleb from being together." I was shocked. "Do you have Stockholm Syndrome?" "Just pretend I do. I won't let you work for nothing." "How about 300,000 a month?" I curled my lip. "You know, my older brother gave me 500,000 a month as a peace offering to keep me from messing with you too." Aurora is the inspiring, strong, female lead type who started her business from scratch. Although her business is showing signs of improvement now, she's still not that generous. She struggled for a long time and said, 800,000 a month, until the day we get married. She wants to ensure that there won't be any problems with their wedding. And I just happen to be feeling bored lately. Okay, how specifically do I do it? Just use your own initiative, as long as he feels like I'm better than you and makes him cherish the present. I understood the implication and clicked my tongue softly. Men really change their minds quickly. How long has it been since you got engaged, and he's already going to get tired of you and want someone new? Even someone as strong as Aurora felt aggrieved at this moment. Isn't that right? His attitude towards me has clearly been much colder recently. What you can't get is always the best. Most men like to play that game. I waved my hand grandly and gave her my guarantee. All right, I've got this covered. If Aurora asked me to help with anything else, she might not get anywhere. But paying me to cause trouble. What's the difference between that and paying for a free, up-close, VIP seat to watch a show? There is no difference. Aurora is a woman of action. After the deal was settled, she transferred the money for a month on the spot. As the saying goes, the speed of the contractor depends on the payment progress of the client. As long as the money is in place, even excavators can be worked to scrap. The next morning, I went to Caleb's company with a large bouquet of red roses. Of course, the receptionist didn't let me in. Everyone knew about the trouble I had caused before. Caleb was just short of putting up a "Ava and dogs not allowed" warning sign at the company entrance. But I wasn't really here to see Caleb today. Taking off my sunglasses, I said very casually, "Give Mr. Caleb a message. Tonight at 8 o'clock, tell him to look up." After saying that, I walked away gracefully. The receptionist looked at the large bouquet of roses on the counter and immediately took a photo, excitedly posting it in the gossip group. Breaking news, Miss Ava came again and again and again. She told the president to look up at 8 o'clock tonight. I said Miss Ava wouldn't give up so easily. She disappeared for so long to prepare something big. I have a feeling this isn't going to end so easily. Oh, really? The gossip monger's nonchalant reply made the receptionist very unhappy. She switched the keyboard to 26-key input, fingers flying, ready to use a long, detailed post to severely criticize that cold attitude. But just before sending it, the last bit of reason made her look up. Above that message, 2 short nicknames seemed to reflect her own brief career. Mr. Caleb. Was that the sound of a phone falling? No, it was the sound of the receptionist's gossiping soul completely shattering. With her last ounce of strength, she sent a private message to the group owner, each word dripping with tears. Why did you have to bring Mr. Caleb in? The group owner, always on the front lines of gossip, replied quickly, "Is there any possibility that you sent the message to the company group?" Everyone in the company group saw those messages, but due to Caleb's intimidation, the gossiping could only be done secretly and subtly. Those in the meeting room were especially focused, as if they had seen nothing. Mr. Caleb's dislike of Miss Ava was obvious. Now that she had made such a scene, this meeting probably wouldn't go well. Thinking of this, someone quietly looked up. Oh my God, the president was so angry he was laughing. After seeing those messages, Caleb felt a lightness he hadn't even realized he was carrying. He thought, so that's why she's been quiet for so long. She still can't accept that I'm engaged. 8 o'clock in the evening, night fell. Someone who was constantly watching the sky exclaimed, "Look, there's something glowing in the sky." Caleb stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window, looking up at the glowing drones in the sky. The drones seemed to be forming a pattern, and Caleb felt a sense of anticipation. The pattern formed slowly, revealing a delicate hand hanging down, and a diamond ring, also made of drones, slowly slipped onto the finger. Next to this image, there were huge English letters, "Marry me." Caleb's smile vanished. The receptionist, with the professional spirit of finishing her gossip even if it meant quitting, was also watching by the window, naturally not missing this spectacular scene. She made sure of the gossip group's chat name this time before continuing incessantly. "Did you all see that? Marry me. I'll bet a month's salary that this was definitely arranged by Miss Ava. She's using this method to hint to Mr. Caleb, asking him to propose to her. But wait, isn't Mr. Caleb already engaged to Ms. Aurora? Why would Miss Ava send this?" She suddenly thought of a possibility, and her expression became excited. Could it be? Someone in the gossip group finally interacted with her. Could it be what? Could it be that this is a warning from Miss Ava to Mr. Caleb, that Miss Ava has actually been bothering Ms. Aurora this whole time, that she loves Ms. Aurora but can't have her, so she's been giving Mr. Caleb trouble everywhere she can. But since Ms. Aurora is already engaged, Miss Ava doesn't want to ruin her image in front of Ms. Aurora, so she can only provoke Mr. Caleb. The receptionist had been fighting in the gossip field for many years and had finally gone crazy. She deeply believed in her unusual ship and, to prove her point, she even made a PPT that night and sent it to the group to forcefully brainwash the other members. But today, the gossip group seemed very quiet. The receptionist was dissatisfied and went to question the gossip group leader. "Why are you so unprofessional today? You're not even eating such big gossip." The group leader weakly sent a message. "After you sent the wrong message today, Mr. Caleb forced me to add him to the group." The receptionist's expression froze. Which group? The gossip group. The receptionist's heart skipped a beat. The group leader added the final blow. The one where he was the only one who replied to your messages in the group. Could it be that everything she had experienced today was just her imagination? That she had been dozing off at work, and this was all just a dream? When she woke up, she would find herself still sitting at the company's front desk, and Miss Ava wouldn't have come yet. Or, should she apply for a job at Miss Ava's company after she gets fired? Wait, does Miss Ava even have a company? The receptionist happily lay down in bed, with her hands folded on her stomach, closed her eyes, and looked peaceful. She slept soundly. Caleb, however, tossed and turned. He had felt indescribably after witnessing the proposal scene that evening. The PPT at the front desk had completely obliterated his last shred of sanity. Had Ava's goal always been Aurora? Carefully recalling the past, Caleb was horrified to realize that Ava seemed to only cry and throw tantrums, behaving like a hysterical shrew. In front of him, a bitter smile on the face of someone desperately craving love. Screw you, you straight blockhead. But in front of Aurora, Ava was always impeccably made up, with a noble demeanor, very conscious of her image. Never lower your standards in front of a rival. Moreover, Caleb had kept one thing to himself. At the engagement ceremony, Ava's words had been a thorn in his side. Now, with all the pieces falling into place, Caleb finally understood. Ava wouldn't actually like his fiancée, would she? Thinking of this, Caleb, regardless of the late hour, hurriedly sent Aurora a message. "What are you doing? Having dinner, what's up? Where are you eating and with whom?" Aurora, at the Williams house, with Miss Ava. Just as he suspected. Caleb said, "Wait for me there. I'm coming to pick you up right away. Stay away from Ava and don't listen to anything she says." Aurora looked at her phone, baffled. "I asked from Caleb." "Yeah. I was smug. I knew it. My actions tonight must have worked. Aurora's expression was a little strange. It worked, but I feel like something's off. Caleb's focus seemed to have strayed. I waved my hand. Don't worry about the details, as long as the result is good, no matter the process. Just like how I saved money by directly ordering the cheapest package and didn't even change the proposal plan, but the effect was still good, right? Aurora's brow relaxed. That's true. He said he's coming to pick me up later. That's good. Aurora gave me $800,000 and got me a high-end beauty card. She was broke. So she shamelessly came back to my place to mooch a meal, and even wanted the old mansion to send her lunch for a month. Although I didn't mind an extra person at the table, Aurora didn't get over until 8 o'clock after finishing her work at the company. As soon as she arrived, the butler told me to come downstairs to accompany her, seriously affecting my entertainment time. I frowned. We still need to eat regular meals, so, besides lunch, I'll have the driver deliver dinner to you at 6. Eat and go back to your own home. Don't come to my house anymore. Aurora said that was fine. But someone was acting like a great enemy was approaching. What lunch and dinner? If Aurora wants to eat, why should the Williams family deliver it to her? Caleb rushed over in such a hurry that he didn't even change out of his pajamas, wearing slippers. I glanced at him. This is between her and me. It has nothing to do with you. Aurora didn't want Caleb to know about our deal either. It's just that I think the chef at Miss Ava's house is very skilled, so I asked them to send me meals every day. Don't overthink it. How could Caleb not overthink it? He grabbed Aurora's hand and wanted to leave. If you like to eat it, I'll have my chef make it and send it to you. All right, you must be full. Let's go home quickly. Wait. I handed over a 5-tiered wooden food box. Aren't you going to stay up late tonight to deal with official business? There are some snacks in here for you to fill your stomach, as well as some steamed buns, dumplings, and cooked porridge. You can heat them up tomorrow. Poor female lead. She used to make millions a month. But in order to solidify her relationship with Caleb, she's now so poor that she might as well cook instant noodles in the morning. I sized Caleb up and down, my eyes filled with criticism. This man is just a little handsome, a little tall, and a little rich. He's not that great. My stepbrother and stepmother are more generous than him. Caleb felt a chill down his spine from my gaze. Ava is serious. His expression was very unpleasant, and he quickly pulled Aurora away. I yawned and walked back. It was already 9:30. These two crazy people really knew how to make a fuss. They must have had a good time that night. The next day, Aurora, with a rosy complexion, thanked me. The result was great, but later on, could you come to our company from time to time? Or I can go shopping with you during my breaks. I was puzzled. Aurora blushed, twisting her hands. Caleb was acting crazy, thinking I had feelings for Aurora and wanted to keep her away from me. But Aurora clearly saw that I had no such intentions. If doing this could make Caleb care more about her, she felt it was good to be friends with me. My eyes lit up. Do you have time tonight? Aurora was confused. I should be free after 6. Then let's meet at 6. I know a good place. I had been cooped up at home for a month and a half and hadn't been to a bar in ages. Jasper didn't want me to go to bars, but why should I listen to him? Plus, with Aurora there this time, it should be even less of a problem. My wishful thinking was going well. But the reality was disappointing. Aurora was a reserved person, and the bar she wanted to go to was a very proper lounge. We had a few drinks in a booth, and after getting a little tipsy, the driver took me back home. Usually, only 2 or 3 lights would be on in the old house at this time, but now it was brightly lit. Unfortunately, I was a bit drunk and didn't notice anything unusual. I went back to my room in a daze, lay down on the sofa, and called out, "Aunt Maria, get me some hangover soup." "You've been out fooling around, only to return now?" A calm voice, impossible to discern its emotion, said steadily. I squinted my drunken eyes and looked over. Daddy." I stumbled over to him. "Dad, why are you here too? When did you arrive?" "Wah, I haven't seen you in so long. I missed you so much." After checking him over and confirming it was my old man, I hugged him and burst into tears. The person I was hugging stiffened, and after a long while, awkwardly reached out and patted my back. "I'm back, don't cry." I cried with hiccups, still not forgetting to complain. pointing at Jasper, who had been watching silently the whole time. Dad, he keeps stopping me from going to bars. He's always controlling me. Quickly scold him. Mr. Williams, he's right to control you. I cried even louder. The next morning, my head was splitting. Damn it. Aurora is really broke now. She even watered down my drinks when she took me to the bar. I rubbed my temples and went downstairs. Aunt Maria, please make me some hangover soup. I have a headache. Good for you. Maybe you'll think twice about going to bars with people in the future. The sudden voice startled me. I leaned against the handrail and looked over to see a middle-aged man in a suit standing downstairs. My eyes scanned his face for a long time. Finally, I lowered my gaze, my attitude respectful. Father. Mr. Williams frowned, although that was what I usually called him. He felt that calling him Dad yesterday sounded better. After breakfast, I sat upright on the sofa. Mr. Williams, your brother said you've been behaving yourself a lot more lately. I was shocked. Trading ivory is illegal. How could anything good come out of a dog's mouth? Mr. Williams explained seriously. Our family doesn't do that kind of illegal business. Me, okay, father. Mr. Williams frowned. Change your form of address. Me, okay? What should I change it to? Father. Mr. Williams, just call me Dad like yesterday. I disagreed. This man looked exactly like my dad. If the way I addressed him was also the same, I would be even more unable to tell what was real. In order to maintain the last bit of sanity in this strange world, this point was absolutely non-negotiable. Father, that's not appropriate. Mr. Williams didn't refute me after hearing that, but silently took out his wallet. I peeked and saw that it was empty. Mr. Williams silently closed his wallet and took out his phone. Call me Dad, and I'll give you money to spend. I was very serious. This is a matter of principle. It can't be solved with money. My phone vibrated. I looked at the message. 1-000-000-00 has been transferred to your savings card ending in 65. The balance is. My soul seemed to have been washed clean. I closed my phone, kicked away my principles, and said sweetly, Daddy. Mr. Williams nodded. It wasn't his imagination. That way of addressing him sounded much more comfortable. Daddy, why did you come back at this time? Mr. Williams said, Your Uncle Henry said you've been through a lot of hardship lately, so I came back to check on you. Is there anything wrong? Sitting on the sofa, my stepmother's delicate body trembled, afraid that Ava would drag her into things. I pondered for a long time. No, I haven't been running around lately. I made a friend, and my brother and Aunt Evelyn are very good to me, not suffering at all. Especially recently, I haven't been leaving the house at all, and those few have been stuffing money into my account. My little treasury is already overflowing. Hearing me say that, my stepmother secretly breathed a sigh of relief, and was even strangely touched by me. Ava seems to be not so bad after all. Seeing that I was all right, Mr. Williams said, I'm away all year round and can't watch over you all the time. If you encounter anything, ask your Aunt Evelyn. Your older brother is busy with company matters, and your Aunt Evelyn is always resting at home, so she has more time to be with you. I didn't like hearing that. Daddy, I'm so old. I don't need my parents to manage me anymore. Besides, Aunt Evelyn also has her own things to do, so don't worry about it. You've been on a plane for so long. Go rest. I pushed Mr. Williams upstairs and saw my stepmother waiting for me awkwardly at the top of the stairs. What your dad said makes sense. If you encounter any difficulties, you can discuss them with me. What could I possibly encounter? I was about to refuse my stepmother when I suddenly remembered. There is something that's been bothering me lately. What is it? Recently, Caleb and Aurora's relationship has been strange. Their initially perfect world for two requires me to be involved to make them happier. I don't want to get involved in these messy things, but I'm beholden to them. I vaguely described the situation, blurring the names of the two protagonists, and finally asked, C doesn't want to keep traveling back and forth, but also doesn't want to give up the offer, so is there a way to solve this problem once and for all? My stepmother, as expected of someone who could marry into the Williams family with a child after a divorce, grasped the key point in a second, even though I was speaking so vaguely. What's there to be conflicted about? Just from what you've said, It's clear that A's thinking has gone astray. He thinks C is here to steal B from him. C just needs to add fuel to the fire with B, and the matter will be practically resolved. Wait, why does this sound so familiar? My stepmother widened her eyes. Good heavens, it hasn't even been 2 months since the engagement party, and these three have already developed to this stage? I frowned. Is that what A thinks? No wonder whenever I see Caleb these days, I feel like he's guarding against a thief. But if that's really the case, things are much simpler. My eyes sparkled as I looked at my stepmother. Putting aside past grievances, this woman is truly a talent. I have a high-level VIP card for the Changle Medical Aesthetics Clinic. Would you like to go together today? My stepmother's eyes also lit up, really. But your dad doesn't like me getting those things done. How could a straight man with only money on his mind understand a woman's feelings? I said righteously, you wait here. I'll go talk to my dad right now. Mutual understanding is key to a good marriage. My stepmother looked at me as if I were a deity reborn. She wiped away a tear. I used to think you were just a mischievous child. I'm so ashamed. You're clearly the most considerate person in this family. I've decided if I divorce your dad later, I'll come live with you. I said awkwardly, that won't be necessary. Throwing away 2 gods of wealth to find me, someone with no social security, no stable income, and no pension. Good heavens, has her brain been scattered by emotion? While my stepmother was busy with her anti-aging treatment, I tiptoed out with my phone and sent Mr. Williams a lengthy message. I vehemently criticized him for only knowing how to make money for so many years and completely neglecting his family. My stepmother had brought her child and married into this family, raising 2 children on her own, worrying about everything in this house and enduring so much with a husband who was often away from home. Damn, my writing is too good. I almost made myself cry with my fabricated story. Mr. Williams's reply was also very unique. Calm and steady, yet possessing the authority of someone in a high position. Understood. At that time, I had no idea what he understood. The next day when I woke up, half of the old mansion was empty. I, with my messy hair, ran downstairs and asked the old butler, Uncle Henry, "Were we robbed last night? Call the police quickly." The old butler had been busy all night and was exhausted. We weren't robbed. Yesterday afternoon, the master suddenly said he wanted to take Mrs. Evelyn on this business trip and that he wanted to give Mrs. Evelyn the warmth of a home. So many things in the mansion had to be packed. The servants worked all night packing everything up. No way. They're both almost 100 years old combined, and they're going on an international couples trip. What about me? Why aren't they taking me? He only cares about his wife. Doesn't he care about me at all? Oh, right, Mrs. Evelyn asked me to give you this before she left this morning. A black card was handed over. Mrs. Evelyn said, "Let you spend it as you please." I tremblingly accepted this legendary black card that I'd only seen in novels before. Women understand women the best. After getting the card, I went straight to Aurora's company and slammed the card on the table. Let's go on a trip. Aurora really didn't want to leave her beloved work. You know I can't be away for too long, plus Caleb definitely wouldn't be happy if I suddenly left. How could such an independent, strong, career-loving, and ambitious female lead hang half her brain on Caleb? Me. This trip could make your marriage worry-free for the rest of your life. Are you sure you don't want to consider it? Aurora slowly put down the files in her hand. Really worry-free for the rest of my life? Caleb put down the documents in his hand. Recently, he had developed a new habit. During work breaks, he would check Ava's moments. He couldn't explain the psychology behind it, but anyway, he had to take a look at Ava's updates from time to time. Ever since he learned of Ava's long-hidden feelings, he always felt like she was a ticking time bomb, ready to give him a thrilling and exciting show at any moment. He skillfully opened moments and saw a picture of an airplane ticket, along with a short sentence. Yay! Going on a trip abroad. Caleb felt relieved. This menace was out of the country, so his fiancée would be safe for the time being. Caleb called Aurora, wanting to get together after work. The call didn't go through. No matter, she might be in a meeting. Caleb dealt with some more official business and looked at the time. An hour had passed. He called Aurora again, but it still didn't go through. Caleb instinctively felt that something was wrong. He opened WeChat again and looked at Ava's moments. That ticket picture showed 2 tickets. He then opened Aurora's WeChat. Aurora, who never posted on Moments, had also posted an update. The same picture, different text. My friend dragged me along on a world tour. Helpless cat. JPG. Caleb's eyes were bloodshot. This Ava was still plotting even now. What world tour? She clearly intended to use this time to take Aurora out and conquer her, then have her break off the engagement. No way, she was stealing someone right in front of his face. Caleb abruptly stood up and called his assistant over. Postpone all my appointments. Clear my schedule for 3 months. I'm taking a honeymoon. The assistant was caught off guard. So suddenly? I mean, when is the wedding? I need to make arrangements. The wedding date will be determined later. Caleb said, hurrying toward the elevator. Go back with me and help me pack. I'm going abroad. The assistant was shocked. Now? Yes, now. The assistant had a "are you crazy?" look on his face. But thinking about his salary, he swallowed that was about to come out. Money is hard to earn and shit is hard to swallow. Whatever. Even if the company collapses, his parents will clean up the mess for him. As long as it doesn't affect his salary, the assistant doesn't mind treating him like an ancestor. Okay, Mr. Caleb, I'll make arrangements. After Aurora and I arrived, as soon as I turned on my phone, unread messages poured in one after another. I glanced at them roughly, mostly Caleb's one-sided roars, occasionally punctuated by Jasper's few understated condemnations. Ever since my last outburst, Jasper has basically avoided me like the plague. Wherever I am, he automatically stays at least 50 li away. The fact that he could actually say a few words to me about Caleb's affairs this time means Caleb must have gone crazy a lot in front of him. Just imagining Jasper being tormented by the irrational Caleb makes me feel great. Parents are traveling, stepbrother doesn't care. I have a large balance in my account, and next to me is a travel buddy who is willing to do anything and be used as a perfect tool. I'm in a great mood. Young men of foreign lands, here I come. Stop looking at your phone. I excitedly called out to Aurora, who was still putting away her luggage. Let's go, it's vacation time. Just as I was squeezing a tall, blonde, blue-eyed, high-nosed handsome guy next to Aurora, a thunderous roar erupted in my ear. Ava. I gave Aurora an I-knew-it-would-happen smile. I turned to look at Caleb, who had rushed over, dusty but impeccably groomed from head to toe. Well, look who's here. I'm telling you, Aurora is mine, don't even think about it. I blinked and smiled, saying, whether Aurora is mine, I don't know, but she's not necessarily yours either. First, she's herself, and second, she can be whoever's fiancé she wants to be. I think this foreign handsome guy is pretty good. Caleb immediately blew his top. He pulled Aurora and started walking out. Just as I was about to stop him, I saw Aurora smile at me. I felt relieved. After my brainwashing these past few days, Aurora has gained a lot of knowledge she didn't have before. While she hasn't become a relationship guru, at least she won't hang herself on a crooked tree. Looking at Caleb's mindless appearance, who knows how he'll be reeled in. I contentedly swayed my wine glass, hugging a handsome guy and snapping several photos. While biting the edge of my glass, I edited my WeChat moments, setting it to be visible only to Jasper. TSK, I wonder when the fish I'm angling for will take the bait? Just as I was about to leave, I raised my eyes and saw a figure by the window that caught my attention. Why does he look so familiar? The person looked up and a clear, handsome face instantly came into view. It was Jasper. I gave him a smug smile and turned and ran. The fish I was angling for walked right into my net.